Hey guys, welcome back to Guys Stuff. Today I've got yet another recipe. I know the food stuff's popular, so I guess I'll run with that. And, I was originally going to do tech stuff and, other stuff I'm interested in, but everyone seems to like the food, so I'll go with that a little bit more. Today I'm doing one of my favorite steak recipes, not on the grill, but on the stove. I know a couple of you have written in saying that, the burgers especially look really good. Can I do them on the stove? And unfortunately, not really. I mean, the way I put everything together in the videos, it's meant to be done like a show, especially with all that olive oil in there. You'd smoke the hell out of your kitchen if you tried it in a pan. But anyway, this one is going in a pan, and it's a combination of a mushroom, garlic, and red wine sauce for the steaks. Now this is another one where the quality and the types of ingredients you use completely change what you're going to get. You can do it exactly like I'm doing it, and it's awesome. You can alter little things here and there and get some very different tastes. As far as the steaks, pretty much you can use any really tender cut. What you want to avoid, because we're doing this in the pan, are cuts with bones in them, cuts with a lot of fat, anything with a lot of connective tissue, because we're not doing these low and slow. They need to be already really tender. What I did here to save some money is I got a larger cut. I actually got a sirloin tip rib roast and sliced it. So I get these beautiful, I don't want to touch it because I'm not ready to start cooking the meat yet, and I don't want to wash my hands again. But these are about 1.25 inches thick. You can do them a little bit thicker. My wife, she doesn't like things on the rare side. I love medium rare, that's my perfect thing, but she likes it more well done. So, if I do them really, really thick, I can't do them right, well done, good 2 inches thick, but that would be my ideal. So I'm doing them a little over 1 inch. That's beautiful. These are about 1.5 pounds each. Do them to your taste. If you want to do New York strip, that's cool. You can pepper them a little bit, you can slice them thin, you can do fillets. Maybe you got a lot of people coming over, and you can save money by getting a larger cut. You can do like get like a flank and slice it up into fillets, and save a bunch of money. I saved like $5 just doing it this way, slicing up a sirloin tip roast. The rule of thumb with the butcher is the smaller the cuts, the more time the butcher had to spend on it, the more expensive it is. So learn to do some stuff yourself, save some serious cash. Anyway, another important thing with this recipe, or any red wine sauce, or any sauce, is the quality of the liquids that are going in it. This is a beautiful Pinot Noir. Quick rule of thumb with wines, this isn't set in stone, but it's a good rule that never fails me. Spend at least $10 on a bottle of wine. I know that's not a rule set in stone. There's probably some awesome $6 or $8 bottles out there, and there's some probably really sucky $25 bottles out there. But if you're looking, I'm not a big wine connoisseur. I love red wine, but the problem is I'm the only one in the house that loves red wine. So every time I get to have it, I have to finish the whole stinking bottle. So I don't drink that much of it. A few bottles a year. That's all I get. But anyway, stick in the $10 range, especially if you're cooking. One real important rule is, if it's not delicious to drink, don't cook with it. There's no such thing as a cheap wine just for cooking. It just makes a terrible sauce. So anyway, I've had this one before, and I liked it enough where I'm going to cook with it. So, and I'm only using about a cup in this recipe, so yes, I am going to be enjoying the rest of this bottle tonight, probably as I'm cooking. Garlic is optional in this. I like a little garlic. Now, this is not going in for texture. We're not going to actually be eating the garlic. It's going to be strained out, but it's just in the flavor. If you're not a big garlic fan, you can feel free to omit the garlic. Won't really hurt anything at all. I'm doing this a little bit sweet. Again, that's completely optional. I'm not adding a ton of sugar to it. It's not a sweet recipe, but I like bringing out the fruity flavors in the wine, and a little pinch of dark brown sugar for the molasses to help kick that out is a good thing in my mind. I love mushrooms with my steak. A lot of people don't like them. That's fine too. You can omit these and make any kind of side you want. I love just making a ton of mushrooms, and that becomes my side. And you'll see I'll plate the steaks and the sauce right on top of the mushrooms. So the mushrooms are the first thing we're going to be cooking, and we're going to do everything in one pan. This is a really easy recipe. Besides the pan, all you need is a plate that we're going to be putting the meat on to rest, and we're good to go. We're going to be using a little bit of beef broth. Some people like to use chicken, but I don't like mixing chicken stock with beef. I just like to go with the base flavor. It just brings it all together. The main flavor of the sauce is the wine. So again, I don't want to be overpowering it or mixing things too much. I want to bring out the flavors of the wine because that really goes with the steak. Now a quick word about how to prepare your steak. Yes, it is personal choice. Like I said, I'm a big medium rare kind of guy. I like a warm pink center. I like a little bit of bloody juice. I love that flavor and the texture. It's just beautiful to me. Other people obviously like other stuff. When you're doing a sauce like this and you've got these beautiful complex flavors, it is kind of important that you do your steaks more towards the rare side. I'm not saying if you are a well-done person, you're all of a sudden going to want a medium rare steak. I'm just saying, try one notch down. Just do yourself the favor. It's going to bring out some more flavor. So if you're a medium well kind of guy, try medium. If you're well done, try medium well. You know, just do yourself that favor. Now, you don't have to do this in the pan. You can do other cuts of steak. If you want to do, for example, like a T-bone, feel free to do it on the grill. You are going to miss a little bit of the flavor because we're going to be searing this in the pan and using some of the bits to really help thicken and bring out more flavors in the sauce. But it's not critical. It'll change it, but it's not going to make it bad by any means. So you could do your steaks, whatever the cut they are. You could even do them low and slow if you had, a cheaper, fatty steak that you want to do low and slow and break down and get a little bit tender. You could smoke it, whatever you want to do. That's fine. So what we'll do first is we'll get these mushrooms going, and then we're going to set them aside. We're going to do the steaks, and then we're going to set them aside, and then we're going to do the sauce and bring it all together. Alright, so here we go. Got some nice legs on the wine. Very fruity aroma. Light. Nice fruit taste. It's on the sweet side. Yeah, that'll do nicely. Alright. So that leaves me about a cup I need to cook with, and the rest for me. Woohoo! We start out with a hot pan, put in just a couple teaspoons of oil. Surprisingly, this is a pretty healthy recipe. I'm going to do our mushrooms first. These are already washed and they're pretty thick cut. If you're going to do them whole, you can just tear them up. You can cut them up real thick. Doesn't really matter. But you want them big, chunky. Pick your heat down to about a medium. We're just going to saute these until they pretty much reduce in half. We're not looking to fully cook them. We're just going to get them tender. This is going to take probably 5-6 minutes, no more than that. Here we can see they're about halfway shrunk. This is all just the water that's come out of the mushrooms. They're still a little firm. We want them to the nice and rubbery stage, a little bit of a golden brown coming up. We don't want them dried out, we don't want them stiff. We want a nice bite. That goes really well with the steak. Alright, now we're just going to transfer the mushrooms to a bowl, not the juice. What we're going to do is boil off a little bit of this water. and get the pan ready for the steak. Alright, now the steaks themselves. Real easy prep. A little bit of salt and pepper. This is just for flavor, not for tenderizing. You have to make sure the steaks are dry. So if you haven't patted them down, just go ahead and do that. We're just going to put on a light coating of salt on each side. And you do want to use the fine salt, not the coarse for this. Go ahead and do the pepper too. And it's always best to use fresh ground pepper. It makes a huge difference in whatever you're doing. Get the oils out of the peppercorns. You do not get that out of table pepper. This is to taste. I'm just doing a light coat, not nearly like I would be doing to barbecue. Just for flavor. And flip and do the same. These little bits here, these are just from trimming. On these particular cuts, there was a little bit of the silver skin fat that I trimmed off, and those are just kind of byproducts. That's going to be a snack. A little bit of salt again. And you want to get your pan really hot, so go ahead and just let it start to smoke a little bit here. We're going to put a little bit of oil in, and we're going to be searing the steaks. Let me wash my hand before I do that pepper again. Alright, a little pepper. Good to go. Now we're just going to add another teaspoon or so of oil to the pan. Get it nice and hot. And put our steaks in. Now, how long is going to depend on how you like your steaks. For medium rare, I suggest about 3 minutes. Medium, more towards 4. If you're medium well or well done, 5 or 6 is going to suit you. That's per side. Do not touch them, do not flip them, do not move them. We want a crusted searing, and we want little burnt bits sticking to the pan. Those are going to be part of the sauce. So I'm going to set my timer here, 3 minutes. And I'll probably leave my wife's in another minute or so after mine. And we'll flip them, do it again. I forgot one thing, we do want to put about a teaspoon of butter in with the steaks. Carry on. 3-minute timer's up, time to flip for medium rare. Alright, another 3 minutes for mine. I'm going to flip hers because she likes hers more well done after another minute. And I'll leave hers go for another 4 minutes on that side. Alright, another 3 minutes is up on mine, so I'm going to be taking my medium rare off. And again, if you're using a really thick steak, like a filet, you're going to have to add more time. If you want to be sure, use a meat thermometer. Good range is about 130 for medium rare, 140 or so for medium. But again, that's all to taste. I'm going to take mine off. And all I'm going to do is transfer this to a plate here. I'm going to let hers go for just 1 minute. And we're going to tent these with aluminum foil while we make the sauce. I'm going to go get that. Nothing special here, we're just making a cover over the plate. Alright, hers is good and smoky here. Whole kitchen's going up. Come here. There we go. Alright, I'm going to pull this pan off the heat just for now so I can tend this real quick. We want the black burnt bits, so don't feel that that's anything wrong when you see all this kind of smoke. We're going to deglaze that, and that's going to be our flavor to the sauce. So cover up the steaks. Alright, now we're going to hit this with about a cup of the red wine. And you don't have to be really precise because we're going to be reducing the heck out of this to get a really thick sauce. Now take a wooden spoon and you want to scrape off all those burnt bits of the meat. That's where our flavor is coming from. We want this to have a furious boil. We're going to reduce this by about half to start. So make sure you scrape off all the good flavor bits. Want your heat somewhere between medium and medium-high. Just want to keep this continuously boiling. Kitchen just went from smoky to steamy. I need a bigger kitchen. That's one thing I hate about this house. We bought it and we gutted it. We didn't quite finish the kitchen. The economy collapsed and there's really not much point in putting too much money into this house anymore. Oh well. What I'd love to do is a complete IKEA kitchen. That would be really cool. Alright, starting to thicken up just a little bit. It's reducing down. Looking real nice. I got all the bits off. You can see it getting a little syrupy. Just sloshing around, you can see the waves going a little bit slower. That's how you can tell it's thickening up. Alright, now we're going to put in a little bit of garlic. Just a couple cloves worth. This is only for flavor, not texture, so don't worry about clumps or anything. But you do need to use actual garlic, not powder or anything like that. Now I love garlic, so I'm going to put in a real good couple teaspoons. If you're not a big fan, like I said, dial it down or eliminate it. Totally up to you. Alright, we're going to throw in a little salt. Just a half a teaspoon or so. A little more pepper. Half teaspoon or so again. And I like just a teaspoon of dark brown sugar for the molasses. Just a good pinch. That's all it takes. Then we're going to put in, 3/4 or a cup worth of beef stock. And again, you don't have to be super precise because we are reducing it again. Okay, let that come back to a boil. Now if you want to spice this up, I like I said, bringing out the flavors of the wine, the fruitiness, the sweetness. But you can put rosemary, tarragon in here, whatever really suits your fancy. This is my favorite recipe. Bring this back to a boil, and again we're going to reduce this. We're going to bring the entire sauce down to about a half a cup worth. It's really not a lot of sauce to this recipe. Alright, here we go. It's starting to boil again. Just gently stir it. You don't want the garlic to start burning or anything like that on the bottom of the pan. If you're not using garlic, you don't have to worry about it. You just sit here and let it reduce. And some people have asked about what pans to use. I know there's a couple chefs that are watching and commenting. Thank you for clearing some things up too. And You know, I don't use any particular brands. I just make sure I buy good quality pans that have thick construction, very solid handles. This isn't a really great pan, but my preferred one is dirty at the moment. I prefer just stainless steel. These non-sticks are okay, but you have to be careful with them, obviously. My grandmother on my dad's side, oh my god, she ruined so many of my pans growing up. Because she's old school. Or she was old school. Now she's dead. But she had a lot of cast iron stuff. And she would come and, you know, she'd cook dinner or something. She'd get in there with a knife and fork. And it's like, oh boy, forget it. Alright, starting to thicken up just a little bit here, reducing down. You can see it getting a little foamy. That's good. And what we're going to do is strain this out. We don't want any of the actual burnt bits or the garlic or anything else you put in there like herbs and spices in the sauce, so we're going to filter that out. And I've just got a bowl here and a little strainer. So, like I said, we're going to get this entire thing down to about half a cup worth of volume before we strain it out. Coming along nicely. It's starting to stick to the sides of the pan. Man, it smells good. It smells beautiful. You can smell the garlic, fruit of the wine. A little bit of the sweetness from the molasses. Very nice. Still a little watery. Getting there. Getting there. About 3/4 of a cup worth. And I'll show you there's a reason that we're tenting the steaks on the plate. And this is another reason why it's better to do this particular recipe in a pan rather than the barbecue, because you're not going to get the next step that I do with them. And that is incorporating the juices that are forming on the bottom of the steaks on the plate. Those are going to go into the sauce too. Alright, about a half cup worth, that's perfect. Kick this off, just so I'm not hanging over it. Alright, let's strain this through. Sorry if you can't see it, it's a little awkward here. Alright, I'm just going to put this garlic into the sink. We can toss the bits. Put the sauce back in the pan. Now we want to whisk in about 3 tablespoons of butter. This is going to help thicken it. Do it one at a time. Melt the butter in. Get it incorporated. This is really the most unhealthy part about it. I mean, give me a break. A few pats of butter. Nobody's going to die. And again, if you're doing this on a non-stick pan, be gentle. The whisk isn't going to kill it, but you don't want to bear down. You want to be on medium heat at the most at this point. Alright, so that's the rest of our butter. Melt that in there. You can see now it's really creaming up. Looking more like a substantial sauce. Now, untent the steaks. and put in the juices that have formed. And that's important. That is a lot of real beef flavor. You don't get that in the stock. Twist that around. Put our mushrooms back in. We're just going to coat them. Kill the heat. Take the pan off the heat entirely. Let those just sit in here and soak up the sauce and warm back up. You don't want it reducing anymore, so you can put it on the heat as long as it's not starting to really boil away. Alright, I just want that to get really warm again. Make some room. Drink some wine. Not bad. We're ready to plate. What I like to do is make a little bed of mushrooms right in the middle. Mushrooms really become the side to this. You can do potatoes, you can do rice, you know, whatever you want. I love mushrooms. Bada bing, bada boom. Got my big medium rare here ready to go. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And then just drizzle a little bit of the sauce over everything. Bam. That is what I'm talking about. Let's take a look at this. Yep. That is how I like it. Tender pink warm center. Beautiful. Mmm. That's good. Get some mushrooms. Mmm. Fantastic sauce. Get the butter. Thick, sweet, creamy textured. Beautiful. Can't go wrong. Alright. So there you go. There is my garlic red wine steak recipe. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of ways you can do this. Let me know what your favorites are. Maybe I'll give them a shot. Alright, thanks for watching Guy Stuff. We'll see you next time.